So we can start off with talking a little bit about PowerOne, very high level of what it is. PowerOne is a very new division of Airsys. We really started the division to go after, let's say, the high performance compute industry or the AI machine learning industry. A lot of these really big data centers that you see, but also some of the smaller ones that are popping up for, let's say the AI or machine learning type data centers. PowerOne is divided into two separate solution sets. One is what we would call direct-to-chip, the here and now. That's essentially chillers, CDUs, fan walls. But then we also have a very innovative new solution set, which we're calling LiquidRack. LiquidRack is it's a spray cooling technology. We're spraying a coolant right on the chip rather than going through a cold plate. It's one of those areas where we've really created a category of its own in the industry. So you'll see a lot more of that being advertised by Airsys in the near future, something that we're bringing to the market that you just haven't seen much of in the past. I think it's really important to go through some of the evolutions of what data centers have gone through the past let's say 2 to 3 years to where we are now and then in the future. We're very familiar with, traditional data centers. We'll call them even legacy data centers, where it's been air cooling, even for chilled water systems for the most part that have been in some data centers in the past, were essentially a chiller plus a fan wall with hot aisle containment, or a craw, you could say, in place of a fan wall. But in general, there was no liquid cooling for the most part. We're really in the era now where we're seeing data centers either slowly transition or go all the way to liquid cooling. That's when you go into our direct chip solution set in PowerOne, and we will be seeing a transition into either more liquid cooling than air cooling, potentially full liquid cooling. But at some point we will be to where we go away from single phase direct to chip to a two-phase solution, or an immersion type solution, which could be LiquidRack. But if we move all the way to two-phase, that's really where Airsys comes in, our partner there. One of the big challenges we see in the industry today is essentially the way that you're designing data centers. In the past, you've been able to design data centers. It's going to last, let's say, 10 to 12 years with that infrastructure design. And then you can simply replace those components or equipment almost like for like when you put in new servers or you're updating your data center. Now that we're moving into technologies, we're seeing chip densities rise, almost every 6 to 12 months. We're now looking at a brand new challenge. The cooling infrastructure and power infrastructure that we build today could change every 2 to 3 years. So how do you build or design a data center today that allows for that dynamic approach where you can switch out a direct to chip system with either an immersion or two-phase system, maybe something in between, and so you're not scrapping the whole data center infrastructure every 2 to 3 years. You want that still to last the decade or longer if possible. I think here at Airsys and our partner company Airsys, we have all the solution sets to make that dynamic approach happen.